Hey everybody, it's TheJWittz here with a special Smash Bros. WiiU preview. I'll be running a video answering one viewer question per day about the upcoming Smash Bros. For Wii U up until the game's release. Today's question is by far the one I've seen the most since I've started these videos. Questions all about Amiibo, Nintendo's upcoming near-field communication toy that communicates with certain games when you press it down on the Nintendo gamepad. Let's take a look at the figures themselves first. Like many other reviewers, I was given 3 figures to test: Link, Mario, and Kirby. The packaging is bold and simple, and the figures look great while still in the box. Unfortunately, as some have feared, I've confirmed that you cannot use the figures while still in packaging. There's specifically a piece of foil that appears to block the connection. I understand why Nintendo is doing this. It'll prevent future 3DS Amiibo connected users from simply going to a store and scanning information to their device without even making a purchase, while also preventing users from scanning Amiibo at home before returning them. It is a shame though for collectors who like to keep their figures boxed. Thankfully, the Amiibo figures still look great out of the box, especially on simpler figures like Kirby and Mario. The level of detail is solid, but I have heard of the occasional mass production paint error, so I'd try and buy your figures in person if that's something you're worried about. The Link figure's face is still a little simple when looking at it as closely as possible, but I still think Amiibo will look great either being used as a toy or as part of a collection display. So what do the Amiibo do? Different things depending on the game. In existing games, like Hyrule Warriors and Mario Kart 8, scanning different Amiibo unlocks in-game content, such as weapons and costumes. Smash Bros. Wii U has by far the most intricate use though, and is the only game that actively saves data to the figures themselves. Nintendo has announced that Amiibo will only be able to hold on to one game's save data at a time, but Smash Bros. Wii U is the only game that will transfer Amiibo save data for the foreseeable future. The idea is that by tapping an Amiibo to the screen when in certain modes, you'll create a figure player who can be used as an ally or a training partner, and trained up to a max level of 50. You can nickname them, choose their in-game skin, give them custom moves, and even feed them an unlimited amount of equipment for stat boosts. By giving them the right combination of equipment, you can even increase all 3 stats, speed, defense, and offense at the same time. I decided to test just how well Amiibo can learn by placing them in a battle simulator. 1-hour matches as a team battle between 2 Amiibo, Kirby and Link, against 2 level 9 computers. I decided to give only Link equipment while keeping Kirby with his natural stats. I have no idea which of the 50 figure player levels matches up with the classic 9 AI levels, but here's how things went. In the first hour match, they were utterly destroyed, but they leveled up a lot. By the end of the second match, they were winning, and at the end of the third match, they were destroying. I got them up to level 50 without touching the game in about 2.5 hours. Another nice thing about Amiibo is that after they play, you can scan them back into the game's Amiibo section to pick up various rewards they picked up along the way. If you run an extra long match with them before you go to bed, you can probably get a ton of extra equipment, trophies, and cash this way while you sleep. With my third figure, Mario, I decided to do something a little differently. I wanted to train him myself in one-on-one matches up to level 50. For a long part of the way, he got destroyed, but toward the upper 40s, I finally started getting a real challenge. I'm nowhere near a pro-level Smash player, but on the 3DS's 4 Glory mode, I win about 85% of my matches, so I'm decent on an enthusiast level. And this AI was the first that has ever really challenged me in a Smash Bros. Game. Eventually, Mario started dominating players that I was bad with, and then he started giving me a huge run for my money with characters that I'm good with. He power shielded, comboed, and was even sometimes downright disrespectful. I still found the occasional AI exploit, like that he wasn't very good at defending Donkey Kong's down B, but even he seemed to learn from that and eventually spammed projectiles. At level 50, I felt like I could only beat him consistently with Rob, my best character, and the games are still pretty close. To close my testing, I decided to try one final test. One-on-ones to see if my personally trained Mario was any better than the computer-trained ones. In the Mario vs. Kirby match, Mario went way too risky offstage and died very early on the first stock. But to my surprise, he came back and won pretty convincingly. Then came the battle against Link, with his increased stats. Link went off to an early lead, but Mario dominated him in the mid-game and even dunked him to close things out. Take that, Link! Steroids are for the weak! If there's anything that disappoints me about Amiibo in-game, it's that for some reason you can't use them in many of the game's co-op modes, such as co-op challenges or co-op classic. It would be fun to fight alongside them in these modes, especially if you don't have a friend close by to play with locally. But as a concept, I can at least confirm that the Amiibo AI is much harder than the traditional level 9 computers, and the extra items and cash that they collect is a nice bonus too. I only got a small sample size, but I'm curious to mess with Amiibo more and learn about how they develop. It'll be interesting to see all the uses that Amiibo will have in future Nintendo games, but that's everything I've got so far for Super Smash Bros. Wii U. That's all for today's preview video, and special thanks to Nintendo for allowing me to share this Smash Bros. Wii U footage with you in advance. Is there a Smash Bros. Wii U question that you'd like answered? You can leave a comment below or tweet me at TheJWittz, and you just might show up in the next video. Once the next video is up, you can click right here to check it out. Also, if you want alerts right when my new videos are out, you can click here to subscribe to the channel. I'll be running one of these videos every day until the launch of Super Smash Bros. Wii U on November 21st, so I'll see you next time.